I have one more question, so I
Sure,
think I
go ahead.
finish up and then you get your own order. So Andrea asks, he is a friend of mine, a guy that I know in the university. He's kind of beginning the university when I was leaving, and he always have tried to start poker, but then kind of, I haven't that much time for this. So he's kind of in, should I begin playing more? Should I not? And his question is, what do you think is going to be the future of online poker?
Mm.
Aren't the games getting harder and harder? What are your career plans? And do you think it's possible to retire playing online poker? So that's kind of four questions in one here. I think his idea is there is a future for all this. What is it going, and
Yeah,
what are your plans in the end?
yeah. I actually have that question written down here too. It's a brilliant, well, series of questions. So I guess I'll just jump in first with it, and then we'll get your thoughts. So what do you? First thing he says is, what do you think is going to be the future of online poker? That's kind of, I think, anybody's guess at this point. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the industry. Nobody really knows what's going on in the States, in America, with, there's a lot of stuff with New Jersey and Nevada and stuff going on now.
Hmm.
Um, the environment is just always changing. There's new sites coming up. There's sites that are going away. But I mean, I don't see any major changes. I think that as he says, the games are fairly difficult these days. I think that they're probably the hardest they've ever been. But people are always asking me, is it even worth playing anymore? I mean, the thing is that people have been talking about how hard the game is for, like, from my perspective, for like almost 10 years now. Um, and I don't really see any huge change in the last several years. Um, I mean, you have
That's
to.
exactly what I was going to say. Actually,
Yeah,
just let me make a point here.
go
When
ahead.
I started, like 2012 to
Yeah,
now, probably people get a little bit more skilled, but I don't feel that.
yeah,
What I feel, and I know that people have said, is that the high stakes games doesn't run quite anymore. But for micro and small stakes players, it's probably the same thing.
yeah. Um, totally. I mean, it's high stakes. I mean, there's probably nobody playing high stakes who's listening to this, anyways. Hopefully, not. But for the micros, I think that there's tons of options out there. I mean, I'm big time on table selecting these days. I know you are as well. And if you make table selecting your job, you can make it 2005 again. I mean, I'm talking about playing on different sites, even having multiple sites open at once to get the absolute best tables possible.
Yeah, actually, I
Um,
have talked with a friend of mine that kind of retired from playing online poker
yeah.
to open his own business, kind of is the way to go. And he said to me that when he was playing, he had an account on every poker room that he knew about,
Mm,
like every single one, and
yeah.
had several monitors. So it was table select to the extreme, I would say.
Yeah, I mean,
But
if you
yeah, that's the job. Your job is fishing.
totally, I can't, I don't want to talk about forums. Don't get me started on those because some of them are pretty bad. But there's this whole idea these days, especially on a certain really big forum out there, that there's some sort of honor in playing against tough regs or something. It's just, oh my god, it's so stupid.
It's just stupid.
We're playing this. I play poker to make money. I'm not here to try to be the world's best poker player. If I can be that someday, it's probably not going to happen. But that's great. But the number one reason I play this game is to make money, and I think that is your job as a professional, and and your job is to find the weak spots at the table. Um, and they're still out there in 2015 and beyond. And I think those, the question here is the future. I think that they absolutely will still be there in 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But if you just sit down on like a PokerStars or something and just expect to open up 16 random tables at NL25 and not table select at all, it's going to be difficult, to find the bad players.
It's not going to work out.
Exactly. You got to put a lot of effort into this these days to really succeed. But there's professional poker players. I've met dozens of them in this country, for instance, and it's absolutely people are still making this happen. They're not making, at least people that are playing micro and mid stakes. They're not making millions anymore. Well, nobody was ever making millions at the micros, but you know the games definitely have changed a lot in the last 10 years, but is there still an opportunity to make a decent living? Absolutely. His final question is, could you retire? Do you think it's possible
Yeah,
to retire playing online poker? I don't
yeah,
know.
I didn't understood that completely, but I think what he was trying to mean is like, yeah, he said he put, do you think it's possible to retire playing online poker? I mean, yeah, I don't know what he meant with that,
Yeah, I mean it.
but he asked about. No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, retire. I don't know. It's not really even something I think about. I think a lot of people that are listening to this are probably in their 20s or 30s, and so we're kind of like not even close to even thinking about that kind of thing. Um, and
Yeah,
it's
maybe it's like work for, let's say, 10 years, make a big bank account, and then go to another project. And if that's the question, for me, it's probably definitely possible.
yeah, absolutely. I
And
mean,
and it's the way people have been going.
yeah, I mean that's the way I think about it as well. I'm not gonna even try to think about what the state of online poker is going to be 20 or 30 years from now when I consider retiring. Um,
Mhm.
so but like we were talking about before, once you kind of go this route, you become sort of addicted to that independent lifestyle, and even if online poker, just dies out or something in 10 years, I'll go on to some other business, probably online or something like that. So,
Yeah, kind of correlates with the last question.
yeah,
It's the same thing here.
totally.
So, what are your career plans?
Um, well, do you want to grab that question?
What?
Or
Yeah,
do
it's in the same question. It's in the same
yeah.
question. He puts, what are your career plans?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't really think too far in the future. It's will I continue playing this game right now? For sure. But I'm not thinking 5, 10 years from now. Um, as long as the game is still profitable for me, I will keep playing. If it becomes to a point where there's just not enough recreational players or the rake is too high, then I will quit. Absolutely. But I don't see that as being anywhere close to the truth or to the reality right now. So my career plans right now are to continue playing this game and to continue to pursue business opportunities both within poker and outside poker, mostly online. And that is something that I really try to talk about to poker players a little bit, is not putting all your eggs in one basket. You're already essentially an online professional, and realizing, that there's a lot of other opportunities out there as well. And I think that you should be, you know, trying to, spread things around, even getting involved in investing or trading or something like that. Um, so I think that's kind of my answer there. I'm going to continue with online poker for sure, but I'm also looking at other things on the side as well going forward.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Actually, I have a lot of ideas of plans, but not all them on the internet. It's more like using my poker career to grow as a person, like I have said,
Mm,
and try to grow my bank accounts too, and then start my own business. But like you said, there are a lot of other opportunities, especially online, and I will be open to those too. And as for
yeah,
career plans, I think I am more in the mindset of keep moving up, try to get back to 3-6 games, maybe crush them. And about the future of poker, I have seen that when you get to 2-4, 3-6 games, sometimes you can have really tough sessions at those stakes and be days without seeing action again at those stakes, and that makes it tougher. So just to finish the point on the future of poker and all that, I think that up to 1-2 the games will always be running quite well, but when you pass that, it starts to getting less and less action. So
Yeah.
I think it's a point that it's profitable, and if anywhere in the future I can see something that's more profitable than playing, let's say, small stakes, going to kind of small to mid stakes poker, then I will jump to the next profit, to the most profitable option that I have at the point. So, and for now, it's playing online poker and coaching and kind of having fun with that too.
Couldn't I agree with everything you said. Let's try to get to the last question here because I don't know. We're about 40 minutes. I don't know how long people
Yeah,
want to listen to
maybe.
us.
And maybe we can split into two parts. I don't know, but yeah, maybe one more. Pick
Sure.
a good one.
Well, I think this
Maybe
has been.
maybe a technical one. Now we haven't answered none.
Well, I do. I mean, I got a hand history from Gonzalo Coba on Twitter, but we're not doing video here, so I don't really have a way to. I think I'm gonna try to do that, and then if we do this again in the future, people want to see this, and
Okay.
when we get video
Hmm.
set up, because he sent me a link on Boom Player, and I can't really show that. I don't think here. So, um, I have one last question from Alex Vasyov on Facebook, and his question is: imagine you get busted, lose your bankroll. Would you be able to start over again? Find a motivation to start from the very beginning at NL2. So I'll let you go ahead with that one.
That's really tough. I think first off, I don't think it's really possible to happen if you exercise proper bankroll management, like going to NL2. Like then you are a losing player if you go to that point, right? Like you jump from. Imagine you at NL 100 to 5th, 25, 10, 5, and then you get to 2. It's if you get to that point, there is some serious issues with your game. So let's imagine that something outside poker happens and you kind of lose your bankroll, something like that. I think it's really tough to start at 1002, and mostly because I think it's not profitable. I mean, it's profitable as a hobby or something like that, but as your career, as your job, your money per hour is just not enough to make it as a job. So I would probably work on some other plans, and then when I get to a stake level that matters, and we live in countries that aren't that expensive. So here in Brazil, I think that playing at end of 25 would be fine to have a decent living, decent to good actually. So yeah, I would probably get into another type of business, and until when I get the bankroll to play at these small stakes, then I would get back again. So long story short, it's go only if it's profitable. If it's my biggest profitable option at the moment. So if it is, then I will be playing. If there is something that makes me more money, I will be do something else.
Yeah, I mean, great answers there. I would have to agree completely once again. I think the first thing you said is the most important, that this probably just wouldn't ever happen to most people who, especially if you're playing a game for a living. Bankroll management is one of the most important skills that you need to have in this game. And, that's the ability to move up and move down when necessary. And so the
Yeah,
idea,
exactly.
yeah, so the idea of losing your bankroll completely, I mean, just really is a foreign concept to pretty much anybody who's played this game for a long period of time. As a living, I mean, there's this old school sort of train of thought that all the live pros or high stakes guys have gone broke from time to time, but they've still got a couple 20K kicking around or something. Broke is different.
Yeah, exactly.
Broke is different for them, and high stakes is totally different. But for your modern sort of NL25, NL50, NL100 grinder who's playing for a living, perhaps living in a country where the cost of living is a little bit lower, like here in Thailand and perhaps in Brazil as well. I think that for them, there's not really any chance that we're ever going to go broke. I mean, you're gonna move down if necessary, or you're gonna get a stake or something perhaps as well. Um, like you were saying, if you're playing this game for a living, it's pretty hard to live anywhere on Earth and play NL2 for a living. Um,
It's impossible.
Maybe in some places in Africa or India or something like that, but I don't think you could do it even here in Thailand, which is known to be a very cheap country to live in. So
Yeah, I think when you start to getting NL25, NL50, and definitely NL100, you start getting some serious money
for sure,
to live to choose whether you're going to live. It's not like you are going to be a millionaire playing at 50 cent dollar games, but
yeah,
it is still a profitable career.
totally. I mean, it depends a lot on your situation in life and where you live as well. I mean, I always say like a guy who's married and has a couple kids and lives in Sydney or London is completely different than a single guy who lives in Bangkok or perhaps Florianopolis or
Yeah, for
somewhere like
sure.
that, right? So, um, but
Yeah, I
overall,
agree
yeah,
completely.
totally. So, I mean, don't let it happen that you have to go back to NL2. Um, but if I was just playing as a hobby, sure, I guess I could start over. Why not? But as somebody who plays this game for a living, no, it's just not something I would ever allow to happen. Basically,
Yeah, it's not like we can't lose, like we have our losing stretch, but then we just move down
yeah,
and keep what I have seen and both as in me and talking with other players is that when they have a downswing, they kind of study more and more, and maybe they feel that they lose something and the game is not quite in there, and then they can study a lot and focus more, get even more disciplined, and then things start going back on the wheels, and it starts to work out again. And if you are doing this from like two stake levels below your normal stake level, then it's even more likely to happen because the games tend to look insanely easier as you go down
I
stakes. Like if you
absolutely
normally play, let's say NL 100, and then you go to NL 25, the games will look so much easier. And I
exactly.
usually do that, especially let's say I started my week and then have a couple bad sessions playing at this level. Then I go and play some sessions of 1L25 or just playing only NL50, and it's not like I'm going to absolutely utterly crush, especially if I'm not feeling good. But the odds are so that it's so much more likely that I am going to turn out as a winner and as a big winner. And then your confidence it's built again, and your bankroll starts to growing again, and it just keeps go back to crushing. It's so the idea is that someone that has the ability to keep playing and keep crushing it for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hands. And if you exercise proper bankroll management, it's impossible to just lose it all in 1 week or so. It's not going to happen.
I agree with you completely, and I think with that, I'll let you have the last word there, William. I think this has been a great conversation. I hope that people enjoyed it as well, and let us know in the comments and stuff what you thought about this. If you want to see this again, if you want to see our faces, I don't know. We can figure that out for the next one. So yeah, that's what do you think, William?
Yeah, I think it was great to be able to be here discussing those good questions with you. I would like to thank everybody that spent their time, wrote down a question. Very good questions in general here. I
Absolutely,
really
absolutely.
like it. Then maybe in the future with the video, we can have some rand histories or some kind of boom poker hand and
Yeah, for
see the
sure.
hands with everyone and then give our thoughts on the technical stuff. So actually, I really liked this. We kept it more into kind of how it is to live as a poker player,
Yeah,
how we see the environment, the future, and all that. and it was really good. And I hope in the next time we can make a more technical approach to the game. So that's it. Thank for you too for the opportunity and the partnership in this one.
Absolutely, it was awesome, and I think we'll get better with the technical stuff in the future. And yeah, just make sure you guys let us know what you think. If you got questions for future episodes. So signing off. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. It's been Nathan Williams, aka BlackRain79.
Then William Mates, aka KhalDragon.
Okay, and William, sorry, is a coach at Blue Fire Poker. If you guys don't know that, so you can go check him out there. I'm a coach, of course, at dragthebar.com. You can go check out my website, BlackRain79.com. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And William, you got a website as well?
I have a blog actually. It's called dragon.blogspot.com.
Okay. I'll make sure I put the links down in the description for this video. You can also check us out on social media. I'll just put the links below again in the description if you guys want to send us messages there or questions for future videos. With that, yeah, that's about all I got. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and signing off.
Good luck at the tables.
Good luck at the tables, guys.
Yeah.
Talk to you next time.